Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
Walker the intern.
and he is back.
I'm back. Yes.
Ta-da!
Woo!
And he has been seeing movies last year, and we are going to tell you what our top 10 movies are. Not our, mine and his.
Yep. Our favorites.
And we have not looked at each other's list.
Nope. He has no idea.
Except that we think we don't have very many in common.
We have a lot of movies to talk about. A lot of new movies.
This is going to be settle back, get something to drink, something to eat, because we're going to talk movies. Which let me say to start with, 2024 was not my favorite year for movies.
It was definitely a slow year, especially compared to last year.
Yes, it was just, I mean, I had to go back and study to get 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was pushing, no, I want to do this. And it was not easy. It was not like, oh, of course, bum, 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 bum.
Yep.
It was like, well, maybe.
Yeah, I had a couple. My top three were basically I was sure about them, and then when you get to that 4 to 10 range, it was sort of like whichever one could go where.
And even that with number 10, and I'll start with my number 10, then we'll have your number 10. I was torn between Gladiator 2,
Okay.
which was not the greatest screenplay-wise
Yes.
movie, but it was epic.
It was really fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. And so I thought, that's number 10. And then I thought, no. I saw a lot of horror movies last year. And out of all of them, and I really enjoyed this movie, Heretic.
Heretic. Yes.
Oh,
Good movie. I saw it.
and,
A good movie.
okay.
That's what I say. I say good movie.
All right.
I say good movie.
Heretic, Hugh Grant,
Yes.
and this Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher, yeah.
Who is now in Companion.
I saw that recently
I did
as well.
Too. What'd you think?
It was fun. Fun time.
You know what I don't understand is the movie has a twist, Companion does, and they're giving it away.
Oh, in the yeah, because I already knew about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that movie, I liked it. I really liked it. I'm a big Jack Quaid fan. But I thought, boy, if I was seeing this without knowing anything,
It would have hit a lot.
it would have hit a lot harder.
And there were still some twists in there.
There were.
It definitely was impacted.
Okay, I knew we're going to get bogged down all the time, but I haven't seen you in a while. And there is an AI in the film,
Uh-huh.
and that AI has a scar on its lip.
Yeah.
Do you remember that at all?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get an AI and have a scar put on it?
Because it looks more human. You know? The whole part is that it's
I
supposed to be
cannot
like...
imagine somebody saying, I want an AI. Let's put a scar on the lip.
You don't... It's personal choice. I think those robots are like make your own type thing. Maybe he was like... He wanted some battle scars on his robot.
Anyway.
So Heretic, yeah.
Heretic. Back to Heretic. Hugh Grant, nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for Best Actor. He didn't win, but he's nominated. Outstanding job, I thought.
Yeah.
I felt like the movie had enough twists that it kept you involved in the movie. And then it had an ending, and I don't think you and I have talked about this, but there is a group of people who think that the ending of that movie was a death. And there are people who think the ending of that movie was a life.
Yeah. I think I'm on life.
I'm on life.
I'm on life.
I think it was Amber. I think it was Amber who said, oh, that means that character died at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that character lived. And so, but have you heard the arguments both ways?
I've heard both, yeah.
The butterfly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you're life.
I'm life.
I'm life.
I think optimistically.
True life.
Hashtag life.
Yes. All right. What was your number?
My number 10. Oh, I have honorable mentions. Do you want me to?
Oh, you can just.
I can just rack them off real quick.
Rack those off.
Sing Sing.
Good movie.
Really good movie. Really good movie. A Real Pain.
Good movie.
Jesse Eisenberg. Both of those are sort of like heartwarming stories about people. Snack Shack. Did you see that this year?
I never heard of Snack Shack.
Snack Shack. It went under the radar. Like it never came to theaters, but I saw it on Prime Video one day, and I had heard about it. It's like a
Who's in it?
Gabriel LaBelle from Saturday Night. The guy that plays Lorne Michaels
from SNL. Yeah.
It's essentially just a coming of age story that takes place over a summer in the 90s.
Sounds like my kind of movie.
It's two friends who run a snack shack together at a pool, and it's really, really fun. And I love a coming of age. Don't be looking at mine.
I'm not looking.
Inside Out 2. It was good.
That was close on my list.
That was close, yeah. And then Hitman. Shout out Glenn Powell.
Hated Hitman.
We're not even going to talk about
Glenn Powell. Sydney Sweeney wasn't in that. That was the other one.
That was the other one. He doesn't even know his Glenn Powell movies.
Yeah.
I'm just a big Richard Linklater fan, so.
I'm a big Richard Linklater fan. I did not think that was a typical Richard Linklater film.
It's okay. That's okay. It's not on my top 10, so I'm not going to be too mad about it.
Yeah. Glenn Powell came out of nowhere to be a
But he's been in the business for years now.
Yeah, what did he make? What did he do?
Everybody Wants Some. That was another Richard Linklater movie. He was in Hidden Figures.
Very minor.
Well, I've never seen it, but I know he was in it.
Oh, you never saw
Spy Kids 3?
Spy Kids 3? No.
Do you remember it?
I remember. Yes, there were 3 of them. Yeah, I saw 3.
All right.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's
they
bring it back.
Both of the 2 Spy Kids are celebrities, are married to celebrities.
Yes, one of them's married to Meghan Trainor.
Yes, that's what Daryl somebody.
I don't know his name, but
okay. But I will have to say, we're going to get to my list, but if we are going to have more in common if we get your honorable mentions. Then,
okay.
No. But your number 10 film though was what you never said.
My number 10 movie. Oh, and one more honorable mention. The Substance.
The Substance was a good movie. I don't know if it's as good as they're making it out to be.
I think it just hit at a certain point in this year for a lot of people, and that energy that came from it has just pushed it through.
I think for whatever reasons, the stars aligned.
Yes.
And it was like, give me more.
Yes.
Give me more.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, she may just roll her way into the Oscars.
I think it was a close race, maybe in like December, but as soon as those Golden Globe, as soon as she won the Golden Globe, and she had the best speech of the night.
The best speech of the night.
She's winning it. That's a surefire thing.
But I would put The Substance and Heretic both to me were semi-horror.
Mm-hmm.
And Heretic to me edged it out.
Heretic's much more thrillery, grounded in real life, whereas The Substance is much more gory.
And I felt like Substance teetered on the edge of ridiculousness.
Oh, okay. See, and I liked how it was teetering on that edge.
It never fell into just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it still had that heart to it.
Yeah, but it was there. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I got you. All right, but my number 10 movie is A Different Man. This is with Sebastian Stan.
That's the one. Yes.
Did you watch it?
Yes. It was good. It didn't grab me.
Okay, and it really hooked me in because the first 45 minutes of this movie is like it's like 2024 Taxi Driver, where it's like the
Elephant Man.
Or the Elephant Man. It's just like this dark and sad movie about this man who feels trapped in his own body. And then, this isn't a spoiler because it's part of the marketing material.
Yes.
Sebastian Stan has this face abnormality, and he gets a surgery that completely gets rid of it.
Did he have the same thing the Elephant Man had?
Maybe. I don't know if
they ever say.
It probably is sort of on that same vein. But he has a surgery, and it makes him look like Sebastian Stan, of course. And the movie switches, and it turns into... And it had a lot in common with The Substance. this idea of being jealous of another person because they have what you want. So the substance is all about Demi Moore
and Margaret Qualley
wishing that she looked like Margaret Qualley, whereas Sebastian Stan, or the different man, is about Sebastian Stan being jealous of another guy, Adam Pearson, who actually has the same abnormality.
Which is a real quirk to the movie.
Yes. How Sebastian Stan is jealous of Adam Pearson's confidence with having this abnormality. I mean, Adam Pearson maybe... I'm actually really sad that he didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
I was surprised because, again, things turn on a dime in Hollywood. But if there had been the least motivation to get behind his performance that sprung up, I think he would have called him.
Yeah, there was no campaigning for it.
And Sebastian Stan got nominated for awards, but not for that.
Yes, that was interesting. The Oscars...
Because
they don't know what they're doing.
I really thought Sebastian Stan's performance in this movie was better than his performance in The Apprentice.
I agree.
But he got all the attention for The Apprentice. But if he had gotten it for this movie, I think he would have brought Adam Pearson or whatever his name is. Right,
you brought him in with him?
Right,
yeah. I just think it went under the radar. Like, it didn't open in many theaters, so I think...
And I may be wrong. You're better at this stuff than I am. But they came out at the same time, or they both came on my radar.
Yes, I think it was like September was A Different Man, and October was The Apprentice.
It wasn't like 6 months apart.
Yeah,
and you had time to digest this and then go to this. It was like they were both out there.
Yeah,
and and of course, The Apprentice being the Donald Trump story got more attention,
of course,
than this.
But I still appreciate both.
But you appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a really fun time with it. It gets really dark and twisted, but it's also got a lot of humor to it as well. It's really fun watching him sort of spiral down.
Sebastian Stan had a good year.
He did. And
wasn't he in the original Captain America movie?
Yeah, he's the Winter Soldier. He's still in them. He's in the Thunderbolts next year.
Yeah. So
he's got the paychecks coming, and he's getting nominated for Oscars. Good for him.
Yeah.
Better than Chris Evans. I didn't even watch Red One. I couldn't do it.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't do it.
You missed out on Dwayne Johnson.
I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I tried my best.
Just snubbed it.
Sorry.
Made a lot of money.
It did not make any money.
It made some money.
Not as much as they probably wish it made.
Oh, still, it made money.
But that's my number 10. Different Man.
All right.
I got honorable.
Let's go to your number 9.
Oh, you want me to? All right, okay.
We'll switch. Right.
All right, so my number 9. This is another movie that went under the radar in theaters, and then I had to watch it on my TV. But I had a really fun time. I watched this movie on a Friday morning at like 9:30.
Nobody watches movies on Friday mornings at 9:30.
It was winter break. I had nothing else going on. Came out Friday morning, 9:30. Watched the whole thing. Juror number 2.
I am so proud of you for putting that.
Thank you.
I love Juror number 2.
Yes.
Clint Eastwood at 9000.
Still bringing it.
Brought it.
Bringing
Nicholas
it. Yes.
Hoult. Hoult. What a year he's had.
Yes.
That movie had so many nuances and subtext. And then I usually don't like this, where you end the movie and you think, oh, well, such and such and such. You kind of write the ending for yourself.
Yes, the ending is so good. It's so crisp.
But it leaves it to you.
Yes, I love that so much, that ending, yeah.
And Kiefer Sutherland was in that movie.
Yeah.
For that long. Who is the guy? J.K.
Simmons?
J.K. Simmons.
Yep. Shows up and is gone, yep.
Yeah. But they were all solid.
Yes. We need 35 more of these movies. Yes.
She is an amazing actress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she does it all. But you're right. Did it ever get a theatrical release?
They shoved it onto Max. They shoved it to Max. They never gave it they showed it in France.
A Clint Eastwood movie.
Because I guess they didn't think he was going to make any money. And now it was like the most popular movie on Max for weeks.
It had everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was into that movie from the very start.
Me too.
And it had just these. Nicholas Hoult was the star, and the complexity of his character, and the unraveling of his story.
Yep.
My gosh, it was good.
Yep. I love it.
Oh,
I love those type of movies.
I love that you put it on your list.
I'm glad.
Gosh. All right, number 9 on my list. One of your honorable mentions.
Oh.
A Real Pain.
No, I figured.
I thought that movie, Kieran Culkin,
Yes.
who I had just watched in, what was it? Succession.
Succession, yes. Huge. I'm a huge Succession fan.
I am too.
Yes.
I am too. I watched it. I came to it late, and it was already like the 3rd season or something. And I went back and watched and thought, this could not get any better. And Kieran Culkin, who kind of grew up in the shadow of his brother Macaulay, just stepped out and took off.
He has found his role.
And I don't know about you, this sounds bad, I'm not saying it any days, but you know people like Kieran Culkin's character who are a real pain, but you still have that relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
To me, he is the sure shot for the Oscars.
Yes.
One of the few.
Yeah.
And he's doing something on Broadway now. I can't think.
It's Glengarry
Ross.
One of the. It's something like that. Yeah.
Which is a very dialogue-driven play. So, but he in a Real Pain, and Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Got to give credit to Jesse Eisenberg, who I think wrote it and directed it.
Yes, he wrote and directed, and I started it too. Yeah.
He starred in it. Yeah. And then too, this won't mean as much to you, but it's about a group of people, a very small group, maybe 8 people, 7 or 8 people, who go on a tour of Poland and the Holocaust Museum, etc. And one of the tourists is a divorcee, played by Jennifer Grey.
Yes, I had no idea that was her until after.
Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey.
I had no idea.
And she was so good.
She is good. She's really good.
All of the sub characters were good in that.
That was probably the best. Well, one of the best scripts from this year. Yeah, it was nominated for screenplay, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's got a shot.
But it was one of those movies that, even though he irritated the devil out of it,
you can't help but love him.
But you can't help but. And I won't say what the ending is, but it's got a very bittersweet ending.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was, when you said it was on your honorable mention, I thought, that's on my list.
I'm
that's
glad.
on my list.
We're matching up. We're doing good.
We're doing good. All right. Number 8.
Number 8.
I've never heard you discuss this movie.
Okay. Probably haven't heard of it.
Maria.
Oh, I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
Why?
Listen. It didn't interest me for one. It's a Netflix movie, so I had to watch it on my TV. And then Angelina Jolie didn't get nominated, so
she did get nominated for a Critics' Choice Award.
Yeah, I know, but for the Oscar, as soon as she wasn't nominated for the Oscar,
she should have been nominated for the Oscar.
I was like, I'm out.
I was not hyper excited about it.
Yeah.
And it starts, and you never know what is imagined in her mind, as opposed to what is real.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of off-kilter edge to the story. And she looked the part. I could believe she was singing, for all the way Maria Callas sang. And I understand, somebody told me, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I said something about, they really did a good job of dubbing in Maria Callas' voice, and they said it was a hybrid, that Angelina Jolie did some of the singing, and then they merged it with Maria Callas' voice. But you didn't even watch it?
Sorry.
Walker.
Sorry. I did really good this year. I watched, I think, 93 movies this year from 2024, which is not bad. It was better than last year.
How many?
94, I think.
You are the movie man. How many did I see?
I don't know, but you do
250.
You do this for a living.
For a living.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Full time.
All this was bought with movie critic money.
That's it. Yep.
I would have thought you'd see more than 93 movies.
Well, I've seen more than 93, but just from this year. From the year 2024.
But also, you were one of those people who will see a movie 2 or 3 times.
Very true. And actually, if you look at my ranking is in order of almost like how many times I watch these movies too. Yeah, I noticed that.
Can't believe you don't watch movies. Sorry. Angelina Jolie really, really, really was outstanding in that. She deserved to be Oscar nominated. She was robbed.
Shout out Angelina Jolie.
You go, Angie.
All right, my turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 8.
I always like to have one animated movie on my top 10 every year. This year, The Wild Robot. Oh, that sounds like we might have some synergy right there. I loved The Wild Robot.
I love that movie.
The animation is so good. The
story
yes,
is so good. I mean, give me a movie with heart.
I was not expecting the story as I was watching it, but they pull it off so well.
Seriously, when I saw that movie, I thought, this is why I love movies like I do. You know, Inside Out was good, but to me, The Wild Robot
excels. Yes,
and it won the Critics' Choice Award.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
And there's a film from Latvia or something like that called
Flow. Yeah, that's its biggest competition.
That's its biggest competition. But I want The Wild Robot.
Yeah.
And Lupita Nyong'o.
Yes.
Voices.
She's really good.
The robot.
Yeah.
And she is so...
I can't even... It's hard to imagine her speaking.
I was completely lost in that movie because I didn't know... I don't think I knew anything about the plot going into it except that it was a robot who adopts a duck.
And I didn't even know about the whole adopting a duck part.
But it broadens out and it's... Oh my gosh, it's just so much to it. And yeah.
I'm a big fan of it as well.
I'm glad you put that on your list. Okay, it's your turn to go with 7.
Okay, number 7. I'm not sure if you've seen this actually. This is Nickel Boys.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay.
Tell me what you liked about
Nickel Boys. Nickel Boys is a movie that's shot entirely in first-person perspective.
Man.
What?
Hated the cinematography.
Are you serious?
Hated it.
Did you watch it on your TV?
Yes.
That's the problem. I watched it in the theater. I mean, it is captivating in a theater.
It would be like you and I are sitting here giving our top 10, and the camera would be on that door frame.
Because it's inviting you into this world. It's giving you glimpses into this person.
So slowly.
That's what I loved about it though.
It would make its way over to you, and by the time it got to you, I'd forgotten what you said because I'm still looking at the door frame, thinking, "Why am I looking at?"
That's
the door
crazy.
frame?
That's a crazy take. I love that. It brought you into that world and that story.
And
it doesn't rely.
If you go back and say, my whole review of that movie is how much I disliked.
Oh man!
And I do not like. I like linear.
Yes, you do like. It is sort of like
that's. Oh, it isn't.
Yeah.
At the end, they had a different actor playing one of the main characters in it, and it took me forever to figure out. Oh, he's the character.
But that's the whole point. You're not supposed to really know.
Why not?
Because it's keeping you on the hooked the entire time. You're like, what is going on right now? It's something's happened in between the past and the present, and it wants us to know how these two merge together. And it's not until the very end when we figure it out how these two connect. But the connection is not what you think, because you think the connection is one thing. I don't want to spoil it, but you think the connection is between this one character in the past and the present, but it actually flips the script on you.
It's gotten all kind of recognition, top 10, top 5, cinematography, boo. Not one spark of recognition for those two guys who played the two main characters.
Yeah, and they're pretty good.
They are good, and that's what I couldn't understand is they they brought the story to life as much as it could be brought to life, in my opinion, and got no recognition whatsoever. The screenplay, the director.
I think since it's such an independent movie, I think they decided maybe let's push the sort of technical aspects more than the acting. That would be my guess.
You are part of the film community
okay.
at UGA.
Okay.
But did your friends like Nickel Boys?
I don't know. I'm the only one that
you
knows.
Didn't survey it.
I'm the only one that's seen it that I know of.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, of course.
But I had heard such good things going into it, and I really expected it to be one of the top 10 movies. And the cinematography killed it for me. It's inventive. I will give it that. It's inventive, but it didn't work for me.
That's okay.
And it's in going through my list. I'm sure I realize there are some movies, and I don't mean intellectually you get it or you're better than somebody else or whatever, but you either get it or you don't. And I think Nickel Boys was one of those movies that you either embraced.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Or you didn't.
Yeah. When I sat down in that movie, I told myself I was just gonna let it come to me, and if it worked, it worked, and if it didn't, it didn't. But it worked so well. You know what I loved about it? I loved how they cut out all the expository dialogue. It doesn't exactly tell you word for word, this is how he gets to the prison, like the juvenile camp. It just depicts a couple scenes through his eyes, and you understand.
Because it's about two guys who are in a not reform school, but something.
It's like a juvenile camp.
Detention center.
But it's during Jim Crow era.
But you're right. It doesn't take you through each step.
It uses the visuals
adjustment
of the movie to tell the story.
You're at one point, and then the next scene you're at another point.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of inferring. You got to figure stuff out on your own.
And then you said, oh, well, they must have done this.
And that's what I like. It's like rewarding to be engaged in the story.
I was like,
that's all right. Yep. That's okay. I also had Juror number 2. I like the best of both worlds.
Okay. 10, 9, 8. It's number 7.
Okay.
My turn. And I've never heard you mention this movie.
Okay.
But this is a Jackie K. Cooper type of movie.
Okay.
It's based on a true story. It is heartwarming. It's called Ordinary Angels.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Hilary
see it.
Swank, Alan Smithson, who plays Reacher on the
Yep.
TV series. Just, true story. Single father, his wife has died, he's got children. His daughter develops a rare disease. Hilary Swank's character determines that she's going to help raise money for him and help him cope with this huge tragedy. And it has a climactic scene where the child has to get to a hospital. It's a snowstorm going on. And
I was here for when you reviewed that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because you're saying this right now, and I'm like, you've said this to me before, so yeah.
There's an echo here.
Yeah.
I just wallow in those type of movies.
Yeah.
And Hilary Swank and Alan Smithson both were just really, really great in their roles. The movie came out early in the year, never caught on. I think it made a fair amount of money, but was not a blockbuster by any chance. Hilary Swank, who is a 2-time Oscar winner, hadn't gotten any nominations. Or anything.
I think it went.
When I was casting my ballot for the Critics' Choice Awards, I put down Hilary Swank. I thought, this is just throwing it out there. Nobody's seen it.
It's your long shot.
Look here, Jackie Cooper voted for Hilary Swank. But I thought, but you never saw it.
I didn't see it.
Would you ever want to see it? No. Is that your kind of movie?
What's your number 6?
All right, what was your number 7?
My number 7?
Yes.
That was Nickel Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to do your number 6 now.
I get to do my number 6 now.
Yeah.
All right. This is my bow to commercial successes.
Okay.
My number 6 is Wicked.
Cool.
And Wicked, I like musicals.
Yep.
I thought the vocal talent, was just Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, I thought were great. Jeff Goldblum got on my nerves as the wizard.
Yeah, as he did for everyone.
But the look of the film, the choreography, the songs that get into your head, popular, defying gravity. Those are landmark songs. And I think what has kept it from winning awards is it's only half a movie.
Yep.
I really do.
Oh, yeah.
I think people are going to say, next year, they're going to say, oh, yes, we've seen the whole movie now.
Mm-hmm. But I've heard that the Act 2 to Wicked is very different. So I'm not sure if people will accept it as much as they did first act.
Well, The Brutalist was 3.5 hours.
That it was.
And they said they didn't want to release Wicked because it would run close to 4 hours.
Yep. It would be much longer than that. The first part one's like 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Okay.
It'd probably be like 6 hours.
I just think it hurt it. I'd go.
Oh, Dune experienced
the play doesn't run for 5 hours. The play
and see, that's my big problem with it. It drags for so long. I mean, you could cut probably an hour out of that movie. There's scenes in that movie where it's like 10-second shots of Ariana Grande just looking and tossing her hair. It does. A lot of it just seemed unnecessary. Yeah.
But you're right. It's like they had
it's stretched out
because I've seen the play 2 or 3 times, and you get the point of the personality of Glinda and the personality of Elphaba and how they contrast, and that doesn't take but just a few scenes.
Yep.
I mean, but
you don't need an hour and a half.
We're going to give you 15 scenes of why Glinda and Elphaba are different.
Mm-hmm. We get the point from one scene, but
I love the music.
Yeah, I will agree. Music's
I love
great.
The music, and
acting's good.
The production overall.
I love the production design, like the sets and stuff.
Yeah.
CGI is a little iffy, but I mean it's all right. I won't complain.
It wasn't, the CGI wasn't the best, but it wasn't so bad it was distracting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't find Michelle Yeoh to be
that was not her role.
That was guest casting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did recognize it though, and it did get nominated.
Yeah, it is racking up the nominations. Just won Best Director.
And it's still running in our area. It's still on.
Oh yeah, it's still going.
In the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Which is so crazy because it's already on streaming.
And the second half comes out Thanksgiving of this year.
Yep.
And you'll be there to see.
I will be there. Yep, I will.
You'll see.
I'll be in attendance.
All right, so that was my 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. What was your number 6?
My number 6. Okay. My number 6. I don't think you've seen this movie.
You keep saying that.
I don't, but I looked at this was during your surgery era, so you were kind of like missing some stuff. But we'll see. It's I Saw the TV Glow.
I did not see that.
Yes, it is about this kid who. Well, let me tell you why I liked it so much.
Tell me why you.
Let me tell you why I liked it so much. The way that the movie sucks you into its world made me feel things that I haven't felt before. And the way that you interact with the characters, it's so weird to describe. It's this sort of surrealist horror movie that has nothing to do with horror. It has horror elements into it, but it serves a deeper meaning about keeping who you really are inside of you for your life.
Every time I saw that movie title,
Mm-hmm.
I thought of Poltergeist.
It has nothing to do with it.
Because in Poltergeist, the TV is the little girl sees demons in the TV. They're back, and I think I saw the TV goers, and I thought that sounds so much like
completely different. This is about sort of fantasizing about the TV shows that you're obsessed with, and how those can
Does it have anybody of a name in it?
Justice Smith He was in.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
No.
you know him.
No, I don't.
If you saw his face, you know him. He was in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Detective Pikachu. I know.
Wow, two biggies.
If you saw his face, you would recognize him. I promise.
Justin Smith.
Justice Smith.
Justice
I
Smith.
think that's his name.
Is he older, younger?
He's young. He's like late 20s, but he somehow can look like a 14-year-old too. It's interesting.
Okay. Where did you see this movie?
It's on Max.
Okay.
It's an A24 movie.
I may have to watch it even late.
It's very interesting. The final scene really shook me to my core. It was
Shook
just
me
such
to
an
the
impactful
core.
movie to me. About
Wait a minute, we got Nickel Boy shaking you up.
I'm telling a lot of movies this year just hit me hard. They just not necessarily I connected to them in the way that it really wanted me to, I guess. And
You had your own personal way.
but I had my own personal experience with it. Exactly. Good job.
I love talking about movies.
Me too.
That's you. All right, it's your turn.
This is my number 5. You kind of prejudged me when I mentioned this before we started recording, but my number 5 is Anora.
What do I, in addition to wanting movies to be linear, what else do I dislike about movies?
I mean, I probably know the answer, but I don't want to say it.
Chaos.
Oh man!
That
But you
movie-
liked Wicked. Wicked is the whole final act of Wicked is chaos.
No, it's not. Everything, everywhere, all at once is chaos.
Yeah, it works.
Honora is chaos,
It is a roller coaster of a movie.
and I didn't want to be on the ride.
Well, that's all right. Maybe you just weren't. Maybe the height chart. Maybe the height was too.
It just when they're searching, going through every nightclub wherever they are, and they pushing people aside. And
Yeah, it turns into like a
and,
slapstick comedy.
and she's screaming.
This you're not gonna like me saying this, but this is the funniest movie of the year. This is, in my opinion, it's the funniest movie of the year, but it's also got so much heart to it and emotion.
This sounds so bad. It's all about this girl and this son of a Russian oligarch, and she thinks she's. I don't know if she even cared about the guy.
She did. That's
I
the whole
don't know.
point. It's a
I
Cinderella story where she thinks she's fallen in love with this guy and is making her way out of the part of the way of life that she's living, and you're just slowly realizing that this isn't how life works.
I thought this is Pretty Woman,
Yes.
except Richard Gere's real good.
Yes, that's what's so good, and it yes, it's
And it didn't do a thing for me.
it's subverting expectations of this Pretty Woman Cinderella type of story, but it's doing so in a way that I really connected to.
But, and I don't know his name. You might know his name. The guy assigned to watch over her.
Yura Borisov.
Yes. I was so surprised. Now, we talked about the guy in The Stand, whatever movie, Adam.
Adam Pearson.
Yes. Adam Pearson was not picked out of that
Yeah.
movie, and what was it called?
A Different Man.
A Different Man.
Yeah.
He wasn't picked out of that and recognized for his talent. For some bizarre reason.
No,
Wait a
don't
minute.
don't say
They
that.
For some bizarre reason. It's a good thing. Yuri, whatever his name, Dimitrov or whatever his
Okay.
name is, he's in that movie just acting his little heart out.
Yes.
And I thought, slow down, buddy. Nobody's watching you. They were.
They were watching. I watched that the first time, and he might have been my favorite character.
He is the
He's
best character in the movie.
Yeah, he is the person that you look at as sort of like
He
the
is
reflection
heart
of you
the
watching it at
movie.
the same
He
time.
is the heart of
And
the
that's
movie.
why that ending scene works so well when they're in the. I don't want to spoil it, but that's it, when the crash out finally happens after
again,
everything that experience.
It didn't make me care that much, but it's one of those movies that you have to write your own ending.
Yes.
Yeah, because it ends at a point and you think, well, where did it go from there?
It's just, it settles. It shows you.
And I think
It's
it's
just the release of emotion.
I think
at the
Sean Baker, who directed that, is a super
end. I love his
talented
movies.
guy.
Yeah.
He made a movie about Florida.
The Florida Project.
Yes,
Huge fan of that
which
one.
was one of. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And who was in that? Wasn't it
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe? Oh my gosh, he was good in
Mm-hmm.
that. But this, it was chaotic from the start, and chaotic right up to the very end. And I had a headache. I was like, no.
That's all right.
No.
You know, it's okay. We all have our tastes.
All right, that was your number 6?
Yep.
So this is my number 5.
Okay.
And it's another one of your honorable mentions.
Okay.
Sing.
I knew you would love this movie.
I tell you, Coleman Domingo.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Put him in everything. Just any movie ever.
That movie was such a tiny movie that had such big impact.
Yes.
It's about he goes to jail unjustly. You assume he alleges that he was not guilty of the crime that he was sent there for. He gets involved with an actual, it's in real life, arts program where the inmates stage plays, etc. And the impact and the rehabilitation that offers, and it sounds preachy, but it's not. It's just these, and I can't even name the minor characters because some were actually in prison.
Yeah. They all, like, when the credits rolled at the end, they were all the same character. They had the same name as who they were.
But somebody Macklin.
Clarence
Macklin?
Yes.
He was so good
He's
in it.
really good.
Because it kind of, Coleman Domingo's character is already in the arts program, and Clarence Macklin's character kind of gets forced into it.
He's the guy that really shows
and he
the
showed,
power that this
and you see the movie pretty much
is.
through his eyes.
Yeah.
And how it works.
Yeah. Very, very good movie.
Again, that was a movie that I didn't expect to be anything, but Coleman Domingo is a national treasure. I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
He really was.
He's good.
All right. Ta-da. Your number 5?
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah, I just talked.
But you got to do your number. You got to do your number.
I did my number 5 with Sing.
I know, but you got to do your number 4 now.
I do.
We've been doing two in a row. That's what we've been doing.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
All right.
Sorry.
You never saw this.
Okay.
But I have been a Jeremy Piven fan for years. There's
Entourage?
Entourage.
I love Entourage.
You know, but he always
Spy Kids 4? He's in Spy Kids.
He's been in a lot of movies, but he always stands out. And he came out with this movie, I think his sister directed.
I remember this part, yeah.
And I interviewed him. It's called The Performance. It's about a tap dancer who has a mediocre career, and he's got a company of maybe 2 or 3 people, and they're just struggling. And they perform one night, and this guy comes backstage and says, "Hey, I want to book you into a huge venue in Europe, and we will pay you more money than you ever thought about." But this takes place pre-World War II.
Oh, okay.
And the venue is in Germany, and it's kind of a command performance for Hitler. And Jeremy Piven's character is Jewish.
Oh.
Oh,
that sounds good.
It is good. I loved it. And it's, when I read a book and when I see a movie that is bookended, I don't know, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, bookended, yeah.
You have a scene at the first that relates to the last scene of the movie and the story in between those bookends. I love that. And this movie does that perfectly. And I mean, Jeremy Piven is up there just tapping his little heart out.
I'd like to see him tap dance.
He can tap dance. I mean, he said he studied it for like 9 years to get that. I really enjoy the movie. I think it's still out there playing at small venues and maybe some festivals, but people should see it. I hope it gets where streaming service. I really liked it.
That's good.
All right,
my turn.
Hit it, Walker.
Okay, my number 4. It's my blockbuster. Yours was Wicked. This is my blockbuster. Can you guess?
Gladiator?
Nah, not Gladiator. Dune Part
Oh, yeah.
2! Let's go! Let's go.
You are a big Dune fan.
I'm a big Dune fan.
You're a big Timothy
What? I'm a
fan.
huge Timothée Chalamet fan. I met him. I met him from far away, but I met him, so, you know.
Hey, Timothy.
That's...
And he looked your way.
He's looked at me. We made eye contact. And
he said, Curly.
Yeah, he said curly. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Mm-hmm.
But I was glad to see that the fact that Dune 2 came out in what, February?
March, yeah.
That they didn't ignore it.
Yeah. They need to be giving it more praise, honestly, but...
I wasn't that impressed.
Well...
You know, I thought it was slow. I thought Timothée Chalamet was much weaker in his performance in Part 2 than he was in Part 1. I didn't think the story was as cohesive as it was in Part 1. They did not give Zendaya but 2 scenes and
Well, yeah.
Which
But the story's still being told. And I heard she's got a huge part in the next one.
Well, and they're filming. Have they already filmed?
They haven't filmed it yet,
Okay.
but it's definitely coming along.
But you know, again, Zendaya. I didn't put it on my top 10 list, but Challengers was not a bad movie. And it didn't get the attention I thought it would get.
Yeah.
I thought she and Josh O'Connor and whoever the third guy was. And it was directed by the guy who directed Call Me By
Luca Guadagnino.
And his wife did a movie, and I can't think what it is.
His wife?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She's a director, too.
Luca Guadagnino?
Mm-hmm. No?
Not wife.
Husband?
I don't know. I don't even know if he's married.
Maybe it was a screenwriter.
Oh, yes. The screenwriter is married to Celine Song, who did Past Lives.
That's what... Yes. Thank you, Walker. Oh, Past Lives.
Ah, that just hits you?
Oh, little wave.
She's got a new movie coming out this year.
Little wave of sadness swept over it. But I did think that Challengers would get more attention than it did.
Yeah.
And it just kind of... But I'm glad you brought Dune 2 because I knew you
that was the best blockbuster I saw this year.
Yeah.
Just visually and entertaining wise.
Okay. My number 3.
What's mine?
Oh, you got
We're doing 2 in a row. 2 in a row. We're good.
Yes.
All right, my number 3. I heard a little spoiler about your opinion on this one through Facebook comments, so I'd like to hear your full opinion. But my number 3, I've seen it 3 times now. And I love it more and more each time I see it.
I know what you're going to say.
Like a Rolling Stone.
Like a Rolling Stone.
Like a Complete Unknown.
Your grandmother even wrote me and said, Walker and I disagree with you on...
A Complete Unknown. This movie does 2 things. This movie is one part just a celebration of Bob Dylan songs. I mean, they're out there live performance singing 30 to 40 Bob Dylan songs. And I'm a Bob Dylan guy, so I was just loving that. Just listening to those in the theater. That's why I went back a 3rd time. I was like, I just want to listen. I got nothing going on right now. Let me go listen to some Bob Dylan in the theater. That's fine. And it does another thing. It does sort of a traditional Hollywood love triangle story. And it does both of those really well.
This is 95% of the movie.
Awesome. I mean, honestly, I'd be cool if it was just a concert. If it was just Timothée Chalamet up there singing.
I knew no more about Bob Dylan when that movie was over with than I did going in.
Okay.
I knew no more about his relationship with whatever the fictional or composite girl was at the start.
Sylvie?
She was a composite character, I think, wasn't she?
What do you mean composite?
That they
like
took
fake?
several.
Oh no, she was a girl. They just changed her name.
I thought they kind of.
Or they could have done that too.
I knew little about their relationship at the end.
That relationship was over by the end.
But why? Why was he back? Why did he cheat? Why did he get involved with her to begin with?
He's a complex man, and it's through that complexity that he's able to make these brilliant songs.
The movie is supposed to help you understand him,
but you can't understand Bob Dylan. That's the thing. He's such a complex man that the understanding part is the songs that he makes.
And the same thing with Joan Baez's character. Yep. Now, I lived through that time.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge Joan Baez fan. I was not a huge Bob Dylan fan because I could never understand the words to any song he sang.
I have lyrics on when I listen to it, so I can go back to it.
Well, back when I was watching it, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
You had to say, they say, what did he say? But kudos, such a still term, kudos to Chalamet, Norton, Bacaro, is that her name?
Monica Barbaro.
Barbaro, for doing their own singing.
Yeah.
Because it was good.
Yeah.
I don't understand the praise for Edward Norton's performance.
Yeah, I think it's just more like it's Edward Norton. Everybody. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good performance. I don't know if it was Oscar nominated worthy. I would replace Edward Norton with Clarence Macklin.
But in that movie, to me, Scott McNairy did a better job of acting than Edward Norton.
Yeah, but he doesn't have as much of a.
He doesn't have as much, but Isabella Rossellini has.
Oh my! Don't even get me started on Isabella Rossellini. She's not even in that movie. She's in 2 scenes. Whatever, get your Oscar nomination, girl.
But again, Scoot McNairy played Woody Guthrie, I think it was.
Yes.
Who has some kind of illness, and I didn't even recognize it was Scoot McNairy.
Yeah.
Until
when I looked him up after the movie, I was like, "Oh, I know this guy. He looked nothing like him in the movie, though."
Well, what was so funny was name drop. I interviewed Scoot McNairy, and he said, "I'm in the Bob Dylan movie, but I can't tell you who I play."
Oh, okay.
And he never did. And then when I got to watch the movie, I had forgotten that. And suddenly it was like, "Oh, there's Scoot McNairy." Yeah, but I just felt like, yeah, if you want to go see a concert movie of Bob Dylan, you hear all his songs, but you're not going to understand anything else about him than what.
You know what I learned?
What?
Not a good guy. Kind of a butthole.
He was,
and that's what I loved about it. It's not taking no. It's not saying no. We're gonna make him like a god.
At the end, when he goes to the folk music festival, which he has helped promote,
revitalize,
which his best friend Edward Norton's character has helped create. All these people who have helped him have organized this, and they say, "Please don't play electric guitar."
Can't go electric.
And he's like, "Yeah, I am."
He does his own thing.
Yeah. And if you don't like
it's so good because it's like you hate him because he's not listening to people and he's not being like an actual human being and having these emotions that most people have. But he's also creating Like a Rolling Stone and Maggie's Farm, Subterranean Homesick Blues. I'm in it. I'm in it.
How good a chance do you think of his winning the Oscar?
He is trying so hard. I will give him all the credit. I was there for his first start of the promotion tour at the College Game Day. I was there. He has been hitting it hard ever since. Adrian Brody's done like one magazine photo, and then he got canceled on Twitter for being an AI, for having an AI voice in The Brutalist. And yet somehow he's won Golden Globe. He won Critics' Choice. Okay, if the Critics' Choice gave John M. Chu director, and they gave Adrian Brody actor, I know, no disrespect. But I'm saying if they're giving a director who wasn't even Oscar nominated an award, and for them to also give Adrian Brody the award, it's almost like, sure thing, he'll probably win the Oscar.
Did you ever see The Piano?
Never seen it.
Did you ever see the clip of when he won the Oscar? And it was the biggest shock of nobody thought.
That's what he already won.
But nobody thought he was going to. And The Piano was a World War II, very somber, depressing film. And it was like, who is Adrian Brody and why is he starring in this film? And then come Oscar night, Halle Berry announces, and the winner is Adrian Brody. And he jumps up out of the audience. Seriously, I'm not making this stuff up. Jumps up out of the audience, runs up on stage, grabs Halle Berry around the waist, bends her back, and plants one on her.
Oh my God.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
And it was so natural, and because he was so excited, he just wanted to kiss somebody. And Halle Berry handled it with very much grace. And she was just kind of like, okay. But and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
You didn't see him again. And then here he is back in this.
He's been in movies. He's in a bunch. He's in all of Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, he does.
He definitely didn't have
a very big role.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have the career you'd think he'd get.
No,
yeah.
No, but
I think Timmy deserves it, but it's probably not going to happen. They're probably going to Leonardo DiCaprio him and give it to him at 45. Give him the Oscar at 45. He deserves it.
I hate to tell you, Timothy's got a long way to
That's
go.
what I'm saying. He's going to be in like 18 more movies before they give him an Oscar.
All right, is it my turn?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
All right. I don't think you saw this movie. I know I've talked to your grandmother the other day because I had lunch with her and she had not seen this movie. And we were talking about there are movies that you either get or you don't get. And this movie, you either clicked in with it or you thought, this is ridiculous. You got any clues where we're going?
Mm-hmm.
Better Man. The Robbie Williams story.
That's this year?
Yes.
I would consider that 2025.
No, it came out last year.
But it released in 2025.
They played it in New York and Atlanta before.
So you're counting that 2024?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I watched it.
Did you see it?
I cried 3 times.
I love that movie.
It's great.
I don't care. Robbie Williams, it's based on his life story. He and another actor, he kind of provides the vocals, the other actor does the body. But his character is a monkey.
Yes, CGI monkey.
A CGI monkey. The beauty, he portrays the monkey because Robbie Williams, whose life story this is based on, always felt like an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
That he also always had to.
He felt like a circus animal.
Yes, he had to draw everybody in by doing the crazy monkey shines, but all the way through the movie, he looks like a monkey.
Yep.
And meanwhile, he's telling the story of Robbie Williams, who was at a boy band in England and had some success with a solo career. Robbie Williams, though, never made it in the United States. He was always an English star.
Yeah, he
had
huge.
He's
huge in England, yeah.
Yes. But there is a scene halfway through the movie where he meets this girl
yes.
on a boat.
Yeah.
And they do a dance. Just
solid.
Almost perfection.
Yeah.
And then I played that scene over and over and over. I love it, love it. And then, if I could find it, I'd play. There's a scene at the end where he's performing, and it's a very
you talking about the end?
Yes.
Emotional. Oh, that's when it hit.
Oh my God! Oof. I was like,
See, I wouldn't count this in this year because my list might change.
Ooh.
But I mean, it's too late. I'll count it for next year
but we agree on it.
Oh, 100%. I love that movie.
But people hated it. People hated it.
People don't like new things. They don't like to experience joy, and they don't like to experience emotions. See, when I heard they're making a movie about a dude we'd never heard of, and they're making him a CGI monkey, that made me want to go see it more.
And see, I think that turned a bunch of
Which is
people
so it's so silly.
I know. Because
that
it
should
worked.
Yes.
But that's what I mean, though. Because in my on Rotten Tomatoes, you have to just give one little sentence kind of your review. And it was like, you either get it or you don't, but if you get
it goes.
It's great.
And it goes for it, too. It gives you what you want.
Yes. I was happy all the way through.
Yeah.
The grandmother's relationship with him, his father's relationship with him. All of that, it was just like, oh my gosh, can this get any better?
Yeah.
And I read that it's at film festivals last year, and it's racking up, and then it came to America and just died.
I was a big thing on TikTok of people just making fun of it, of being like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I was right there. I was at the front lines. I was at the front lines telling them, you stand down. You stand down. Robbie Williams didn't do nothing. Yeah, I was down. I was up in the trenches helping the war, but it didn't work. I did go watch it though.
I am so glad you saw it.
Oh yeah. I was not gonna miss that.
Number 3 on my list.
Okay, that's good.
Number 2 on my list. Oh,
Okay.
have you given me your number 3 yet?
Yeah, it was a complete unknown. It's your turn.
Okay. Number 2 on my list.
Okay,
You're gonna be happy.
I'm ready.
Wild Robot.
Okay, there we go. Number 2.
Number 2.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I will be watching the Oscars and say, "Come on, Wild Robot."
Yeah, I think it's got it.
I don't know. I'm worried about flow.
I know. It is, but the Golden Globes were so weird this year.
I know, but I'm still worried. And I also think there's Inside Out 2 has a.
I don't know. I think the Wild Robot sucked out all that.
My wife thought Inside Out 2 was just the best thing ever.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Not like Wild Robot.
Oh no, obviously, of course not.
Did not affect me emotionally.
Wallace and Gromit. Did you watch
I'm not a big Wallace and Gromit.
That's
fan.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a fan. I would say I'm just a fan. I'm not a super fan. I'm just a fan.
It's more of a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
No.
Shout out British people.
Yeah. But Wild Robot, as we said, the story, the voices, the plot, the animation, everything. It was unique.
Yeah.
Okay. You go with your number 2.
My number 2? Okay. My number 2, I know how much of a fan you are of chaos, so for my number 2, I have Saturday Night.
That's a shock.
A shock?
Yes.
What do you mean?
It just is.
It's like the best thing in the world.
Nowhere in my realm of entertainment does that creep out onto anybody's list. Walker.
Yes, Saturday Night is I watched it 3 times opening weekend. That's he hates chaos. Let me talk to y'all. It feels like an energetic tornado
going nowhere
of the pressures that art can do to you under pressure.
I do not believe in any possible relation to what actually happens with Saturday Night Live and what happens with the premiere. That 5 minutes before the show, they're still marking off skits as to what they're going to do.
That's what happens. That happens every week. That happens every week at Saturday Night.
I don't believe it.
There's documentaries about how that works. They cut scripts right before it happens. It's whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
But
it's believable that a man can be a CGI monkey?
Yes. He can be a CGI monkey.
Okay.
Because that's his concept of what his life was. But who is that guy you said was
Gabriel LaBelle?
Gabriel LaBelle.
All right.
Nobody in the cast except Chevy Chase, whoever played Chevy Chase, reminded me of the actual person.
I don't know.
And then there was Nicholas Hoult played 2 characters.
No, that wasn't Nicholas Hoult.
Who was it?
It's the guy from Succession. I don't know his name.
Oh yeah. What was his name? But he played 2 roles.
Yeah, that's because it was supposed to be another person, and then that person dropped out.
Minute. 5 minutes to the show, he dropped out.
Hints. I mean, that's only helping my point. You said that's not real, but it's working. It's happening right there.
I don't believe that guy dropped out at the last minute. They said, "Oh, wait, get the guy from Succession. He can play 2
He was
roles."
already playing Jim Henson.
And then he did Christopher.
No, he played. Oh God,
I thought it was Christopher Lloyd. It was Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd's the guy from Back to the Future.
Yes.
He's not on Saturday. It's
Oh no, it was the guy who with the droopy eyes.
He plays.
He was on Taxi.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Come on, Walker. You love this movie. Y'all know.
Andy
Kaufman.
I got it.
Together.
I figured it out.
You didn't figure it out. You got Andy.
I figured out the Andy part. We worked together.
That's right.
Boom. I love Saturday Night.
Did not like that movie.
It was such a fun time.
Did not like that movie.
That's okay. And you know what? I really loved how it was a slew of young actors given the opportunity to show their. Dylan O'Brien played Dan Aykroyd.
Dylan O'Brien is bringing back his career.
Mm-hmm. He's got a Sundance movie out. He won a Sundance Award
after all the Maze movies.
Yeah, Maze Runner.
The Maze Runner. And then he had an injury.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because he couldn't do the next phase. It was postponed because he got wounded on the set.
He's like the next Tom Cruise.
But he has popped up in small film now and is building a reputation as a really good actor.
Yeah. I had such a fun time with it. And I don't even care if half of it's made up. It's still fun.
We were doing so good.
You know,
we were doing so good.
Movies
you had to bring
when
Saturday Night Live
when I get to the
into
top 3, I'm thinking, how will these movies impact me the rest of my life? Like, which of these movies am I going back to?
And which of these to avoid?
Whatever. Let's just. You want me to go first for my number 1?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So my number
I hope
1.
It's better than your number
This is
2.
interesting because I told you right before this started. I was like, I don't think you watched this movie. And then you mentioned it about 20 minutes ago, and I tried to act like I didn't know I didn't like try to go crazy over it. My number 1 movie of the year is Challengers.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, my favorite movie of the year was Challengers.
I said nobody's giving it any love.
I know, and you started saying it. I was like, I can't give it away. That's my number 1. So I just kind of like nodded my head. But that is my favorite movie of the year.
I cannot believe it didn't make my top 10, but it started out. It came out of the gate with everybody going, "Wow,
Yes.
This is going to be this, blah 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 blah." And then about a month or so later, it was like everybody said, "No, it wasn't that good."
I think it came out because it came out in April. It just lost so much steam.
Dune was,
but it didn't just win Best Editing at the Critics' Choice Award. Well, I'm just saying it won Best Score. How does it win Best Score at the Golden Globe and then not get nominated at the Oscars?
I agree.
That is the best score of the year. I mean, it is just a combination of drama and sport.
Zendaya,
she is
showed to me now. To me, Dune has not showcased her acting.
Oh no, that's paycheck.
But this deal,
Challengers. One thing I really love about this movie is you can watch every single time. I've seen it 3 times. Every single time I watched it, I tried to watch it in a different way to where I looked at another person as being the actual villain of the story. So the first time I thought it was Josh O'Connor. Second time I was like, wait a minute, it might be Mike Feist is kind of the villain. Then the third time I watched it, I was like, she's the villain of the story. She's ruining the friendship between these two.
All right, you're the film guy and you know all this stuff. But
okay.
It's almost like Rashomon.
What is Rashomon?
Rashomon is a classic Japanese film.
Oh, is it?
And it's told, it's shown from the perspective of 3 different people about a situation. You get this person's viewpoint, this person's viewpoint, and it's up to you to figure out which was the truth.
Yes.
And that's what
Challengers is. I loved it so much. The sports scenes were so intense, but that wasn't even the best part of the movie. It was like,
But it's funny because on your list, your top film is not on my list at all. My top film is not on your list at all.
Okay. Have you even heard of this movie?
You've heard of it, I think. But you and I've never discussed it, and I loved it.
Okay.
From everything about it. My Old Ass.
Jackie! Yes! Yes!
Why isn't it on your list?
It is high up on my list. It honestly should be honorable mention, but I love that movie.
I loved it.
Oh my goodness! I was not expecting that.
How about that?
Oh my yes! That was such a good movie.
It was. You talk about a bookended movie.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Audrey Plaza.
Yes.
Who I've loved forever. Maisie Stella.
Mm-hmm.
Who was on the TV series Nashville.
Okay.
She and her sister, her actual sister, played Connie Britton's children.
I understand everything
on that show. And I thought then, except her older sister got more of a featured part, kind of focused more on her than the younger sister, which was Maisie Stella. But Maisie Stella was so great. Do you remember a TV series way back with, oh gosh, what is her name? But it was like the sex lives of like American teenager.
Sex Lives of College Girls?
No. This was American. It had the girl, Shailene Woodley.
I know her, yeah.
All right, she was in this.
Yeah.
And her co-star in it was a character played by Megan Park. All right? You staying with me?
Sure.
Megan Park, I watched her for like 4 seasons of this show. Megan Park wrote and directed My Old Ass.
Okay.
And I would love to interview her because what she brought to that movie, how well crafted it was, the storyline was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Yeah. Really, really good. Really fun and inventive.
Yes.
But still sticking to that traditional coming of age.
And you talk about emotional scenes.
Mm-hmm.
When Aubrey Plaza's character realizes she's kind of gone back in time and that her old boyfriend can see her and communicate with her.
Yeah. Oof. It's good. It's good writing. Yeah.
It was.
I think maybe if I had seen it when I was like last year, when I was like a senior about to go into college, I think it might have hit a little bit harder.
Hey, I'm 105.
But hey, that's what I'm saying.
I'm 105 and it hit with me.
But yeah, it still definitely hit
if
me.
I had waited, seen it when I was a teenager, but that movie stayed with me. Every time somebody would say, "What is your favorite movie so far?" In my mind, I was thinking, first it was Wild Robot.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Robot really, really hit me. But My Old Ass, the way it was written, the way the story evolved, the conclusions that you get to that film.
Yeah.
I am so glad we ended on that note instead of ending up with SNL.
Oh, come on. Challengers was my number one. Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm surprised you like Challengers because it was told out of sequence.
I know. It did drive me crazy.
Oh, but at least I'm glad it didn't.
It's not on my top 10.
No, that's fine, but you liked it though.
Yeah, it's like in tennis, you hit the ball over here, then you hit the ball back over here. That's the way the script was to me. Boop.
That's a good analogy though.
So it fit in with the tennis.
Yeah.
Okay.
That GoPro shot where you're the tennis ball.
I tell you, I love discover like that whole dance sequence in Better Man in the middle of the movie was, that's just like, oh my gosh. And I think you and I were talking that I'd seen this locally made movie, Midnight, and there are 2 scenes in that just stand out to me. And I love to see a movie where you know that the concept and the filming and the reality of it all came together.
Yeah.
And those are the special times. And sometimes when I'm watching a movie and I get that, oh my God, that was amazing.
That all feeling,
I'm thinking, I wonder if anybody else is feeling this. That's why I like to talk to you so much, is because you know those times.
Yeah. And for me, that time was when he put the tennis ball on the racket. Told him this is what was up. When he told him I did it with your wife. That was it. That was. Or when Saturday night was about to start, like right.
Or when Aubrey Plaza saw her.
Or when Aubrey Plaza saw her boyfriend.
Oh. Walker, this has been
This has been great. I think we went longer this year than we did last year.
We probably did. I apologize for the length, but we just had a lot to say.
Yeah. We got a lot to get out.
Maybe if we get a chance, we'll get together and do the Oscars.
I'm on spring break.
Yeah.
That week, so.
Got to get it so we can get it on the air, though, and get it on YouTube before it comes out.
Oh, you want it before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. I just thought about it, and I just got it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I predicted this for you, and I was right.
All right, I thought about it, and then I was like, that's stupid, never mind.
Hello.
All right. Okay.
All right, thank y'all. If you stuck with us to the very end, I hope you got enlightened and we'll go back and see some of these movies. Like I said, I consider Better Man a 2024 movie, and hope that you will find it on streaming or wherever it is.
And maybe I'll put it on my 2025.
No, you might.
Who knows?
But this has been Jackie K. Cooper here with
Walker the Intern.
And these have been our top 10 list of 2024.